With Marvel Studios preparing for a complete overhaul, the X-Men franchise is slowly but surely on its way to getting its live-action rebirth. Mutants have been popping up across the MCU in TV shows and movies, but the X-Men, as of yet, have not been officially reintroduced. While the movie franchise produced some gems, a couple of those movies were also the exact opposite of gems, so now that Disney has acquired Fox's entertainment assets, it's reasonable to believe that a new plan for the X-Men is in development. I mean, they're certainly taking their sweet time with it, but the reports are coming in that Marvel is eyeing new actors like Sadie Sink for Jean Grey, and we're excited for whatever's to come. We think that this time the franchise won't be limited to movies, and naturally, if there is to be a Disney Plus TV show in the future, Wolverine will be at the center of it. Here's why we think so. What this Ultimate Wolverine TV show actually is. Before we proceed, please note that most of this is speculation on our part. Jack Schreier is set to direct the Phase 7 X-Men film, and it's likely to establish a firm integration of mutants into the established Marvel Cinematic Universe. While some of the previous films were great, let's face it, the continuity always felt confusing and fragmented. This is exactly why this integration of mutants cannot be done hastily. There have been no official reports, but most fans think that this will happen only after Avengers Secret Wars, since that will conclude the multiverse saga of the MCU, which began in 2021. Secret Wars could be kind of a soft reboot, and if this prediction is true, that would be the perfect time to bring out the X-Men. Owing to the multiverse saga, it's also possible for the mutants to come from a different reality where they are already established. Right now, there's no way of knowing which characters from the X-Men will be featured, but we're going to take a bet and say that regardless of the final lineup, the one mutant we'll definitely be seeing is Wolverine. Think about it. Nearly every X-Men movie so far has had him in a central role, if not as a big Easter egg / cameo. Plus there's X-Men Origins Wolverine and The Wolverine. Those are literally his stories, and whether he's traveling to Japan or to the future, he's always been there. And don't get us wrong, we're not saying that's a bad thing. Hugh Jackman really brought Logan to life in such a way that it made people not even care if every other character's plotline seemed like a side quest. What we're trying to say is that considering how he's pretty much been the heart and soul of the movies, it only makes sense for him to get more screen time in the upcoming releases as well. And this is where Marvel needs to be cautious. Whether Hugh Jackman reprises the role or Wolverine gets played by a new actor, who will have some pretty big shoes to fill by the way, Marvel needs to adopt a different strategy with Logan. The old method, where the rest of the X-Men felt like supporting characters with Logan at the helm, will feel extremely bland. Fans want to see more of him, but not at the expense of other characters who are just as strong and just as layered, if not more so. This can really only be solved if Wolverine gets his own TV show, where Marvel can flesh him out enough for the focus to not be on him as much in the upcoming movies. Additionally, this could also be a new introduction to the X-Men in general and give some kind of a backdrop for the films. Here, Marvel will have the opportunity to portray Weapon X in its slow burn glory, giving MCU's Logan his gritty and traumatic backstory before he's established as part of the X-Men. Barry Windsor Smith's 1991 story doesn't shy away from exploring the dehumanization and psychological horror of turning a man into a weapon. We always felt somewhat disappointed that while X-Men Origins Wolverine showed us Logan's past, it didn't really live up to Weapon X. The storyline felt rushed and cluttered, and we don't think it was absolutely necessary to introduce characters like Cyclops, so here's a chance to rectify that and have a darker Wolverine prequel connecting him to the MCU for good. Plus, this isn't the only option Marvel has, you know? In the Ultimate Universe, Ultimate Wolverine has turned Weapon X into a far more terrifying entity. In that universe, all mutants are weapons, and Weapon Plus is the ambitious upgrade to Weapon X. Essentially, Wolverine is like a new Winter Soldier, so it's not as if the good folks at Marvel will have to struggle to find storylines. And I know I'm speaking for like 90% of fans when I say that we will absolutely eat up a prequel like this. Why Weapon X and Ultimate Wolverine are the perfect spine. If you're still not convinced, let's just quickly refresh your memory. We think by now you can tell that Weapon X is one of our favorites, and it's a very complex narrative because, while explaining Logan's story, it doesn't take a metaphorical approach to detailing exactly how he became Wolverine. It's not your everyday superhero origin story. It forced us to sit down and understand how torture works, how it's experienced by the victim and justified by the perpetrator. Logan almost lost himself completely due to the Weapon X project. Adamantium was grafted onto his skeleton, his memories were taken away, and his autonomy was trampled over. Throughout the experiment, he's never even called by name. We remember how some scenes from this comic were once compared to the atrocities committed by scientists in Nazi Germany, and we couldn't agree more. Logan didn't get a happy ending. There's no poetic justice. He simply escaped, but had become less of a man and more of a monster. This was adapted in X-Men the Animated Series, but can you imagine the impact it would have had if it were adapted now in a show dedicated to Wolverine alone, when we have barely had any mutant content for a while? And this could even be taken to the next level with Ultimate Wolverine, where the Maker has altered the timeline and neutralized anyone who could have become a threat to him. He's also the one who stopped the X-Men from becoming heroes, with mutants becoming weaponized slaves and characters like Colossus, Nightcrawler, and Magic overseeing the workings of Directorate X. The Ultimate storyline offers a goldmine of plots. What we know as Weapon X in the mainstream Marvel continuity is also revealed by later stories to be the 10th incarnation of Weapon Plus, which even connects characters like Captain America, Deadpool, Garrison Kane, Maverick, and even Luke Cage. In this way, an Ultimate Wolverine TV series could not only reinvent Logan's origin, it could also take the entire lore of Weapon X and form links to the established MCU. This way, we might even get new versions of familiar characters. How this solo series fixes the X-Men problem. As we explained earlier, we're not in favor of a Wolverine TV show just because we're fans of the character. We just think that if his most intense arcs are explored in his own show, then the upcoming X-Men movies will be about all the X-Men, not just Logan. We'll see Storm, Jean, Cyclops, and Rogue get more screen time and cinematic justice than they've gotten before. Their development won't be sacrificed for the sake of Logan becoming the top-tier hero. Do you really think it was fair for the other members of the X-Men to constantly make room for only Wolverine to shine? And the thing is, the very concept of X-Men is way more suited to television than the 2-hour restrictions of a blockbuster movie. What's stopping Marvel from considering solo shows for the most compelling characters in the franchise? Charles Xavier, Magneto, Storm, Mystique, Rogue, Magic, all their stories could work as MCU Disney Plus shows. In this way, even lesser-known mutants will get exposure and won't just serve as plot points for the sake of bigger names to overshadow them. I mean, come on, we're talking about mutants. Isn't the whole social commentary here about inclusion, after all? There really are so many opportunities for Marvel to capitalize on here. Let's not forget just how incredible the reception was for X-Men 97, to the point where it's become a cult classic. Television shows offer the unique opportunity for better character development and more layered storylines. Using them as the base for an all-new X-Men movie will make so much more sense than just having the same mutants save the world every single time. What do you think? Other than Wolverine, who would you say deserves a solo show? Let us know in the comments section down below, and thanks for watching. Stay safe out there and have a marvelous day.